so what do you do on the side, right?
Because everyone has 10 side hustles.
Right.
That's just the assumption.
And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't have a side job? I was like, when I leave here, I'm getting ready to go do this, and then I got to do that, and then at 9 o'clock, I got to do. She was like, what? And so she took a dot. She's like, well, you know what? Let me look and see what I want to do. But we would always talk about, we worked so hard for the organization.
True.
And everybody would come to us for everything. So she said, you know what? Why don't we do our own? Mm-hmm. And I was a little nervous because I knew I had all these other entities going on. And so I was like, am I going to be able to dedicate the time to that? Because I know from 4 to 7, I'm at this place doing that.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Living Room Wisdom, where your story is your glory. I couldn't be more excited for my guests today when I tell you it took moving heaven and earth to get these two women in the same room at the same time, because they're co-founders of an incredible company called Insight HR Consulting, and they are taking off like I don't know what. So we're going to dive right in. I'd like to introduce first Vilma. Vilma Bragger is the president and co-founder at Insight HR Consulting. She's a bilingual strategic human resources consultant. Dang, that's a mouthful. And managing principals of Insight HR Consulting with over 20 years of experience in the areas of HR, training, development, safety, risk, change management, leadership development, and succession planning, and also regulatory compliance. Whew. That sounds like a lot, right? I'm tired just reading it. And then we have Miss Cherelle Moore here. She's the Chief Operating Officer of Insight HR Consulting. However, she also has a visionary brand. She's the founder of Things to Do by Cherelle. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, this is a fashion and lifestyle brand that has graced the runways of New York and London. Okay? London Fashion Week, right? So she has over 25 years of HR leadership experience, but also she specializes in employment law, compliance, employee relations, DEI initiatives, and executive coaching. So her, together with Vilma, they guide organizations through complex workforce challenges with precision and empathy. And what I love about this is that they really bring their full selves. And so I just want to kind of open up with a little bit about each of your background, because I know, Vilma, you are from an immigrant family, correct?
I am.
And so a lot of your passion and resilience, well, both of you, a lot of your passion and resilience has come from that place. So share for our audience just a little bit about your background and what got you to this place.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for that great introduction. That was amazing.
Goodness.
So you're absolutely right. I'm an immigrant myself.
Okay.
My family and I migrated when I was 9 years old. We're from a country called Nicaragua in Central America. And everything I am is thanks to my parents, my mom and father. They really taught me by actions, their actions, education, and always being a force to reckon with, to be honest, both of them in their own unique selves, right? Yeah. My mother, she never went to college. She graduated high school. But this woman is a genius, right?
Absolutely.
She actually self-taught herself by just reading books. She was an entrepreneur in our country, which is very rare, right? As a female in a very Hispanic country, right? Mm-hmm. And she opened a store, and I remember that I was there helping her out every day. And she would go in the merchants to buy the products that she was selling, the only woman. And here I am with her, trying to sell buying the products so she can put it in her store.
Wow.
And so that really just gave me a lot of, not only showed love, but dedication, resourcefulness, right? And shows a thrive. Like, if you want to do it, you can do it. You have my support. We love you no matter what. And my father on the other side, very highly educated man. He went to medical school. He was a doctor, specialized in ear, throat, and nose. Had his own practice. And he came from a very humble family, right? But the education piece was very, very heavy. for him. Like, he really was committed. And he loved the profession. Like, literally, I remember people paying for his services with a lunch, with a live chicken.
Old school.
Yes, absolutely. Or avocados, and
Nice.
A box of avocado. I'd be like, Dad, what's that for? What is that? And come to find out, it was for payment.
Wow.
He was really very
Dedicated.
inspirational, right? Like, he would do it because he really loved. He was very passionate about the profession to help others. So
Wow.
I had great models.
Yes,
Great
you
models.
did. And actually, as you were speaking, I was wondering then, with two entrepreneur parents, does that mean that you were in kind of an upper class in Nicaragua?
So we were middle upper class.
Okay.
Right. However, their parents were lower class.
Okay.
Lower class individuals. That my grandfather was a mechanic. The entrepreneur spirit has been in my family for generations.
Sounds like it.
My father's mother was a merchant.
Yes.
Right. And she came from nothing. So everything they earned, they really not only sacrificed, but worked for it. There was no excuse. Once you had it in the mind, it's only up to you.
Yeah.
You want to make it happen, you can. Whether that be education, no education, whatever you want to do, Vilma,
Wow.
we're there for you. But you have to try it, right? Not just say it, because that's just dreaming. What are you doing about it?
And what brought them here to the States then?
So when I was 7 years old, Nicaragua had a civil war. And I remember walking the streets because, unfortunately, I was born with kidney issues. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And so I had a kidney infection really bad where at that time the war was happening. So you had to go to the clinic, and just walking to get to the clinic is a war zone. And the memories that I have from that time frame was just a little bit like, I don't even think about it as much anymore. But just to see that happening, right? Lives being lost.
Jeez.
And after the war, the new government came in, and they were really trying to change the government and the people. And my mom and dad were like, that's it. This is not the country we loved. It's changing. And, the values that we hold dear, they're being destroyed, right? Or being changed in something that's just not for us. And they made a decision to leave the country. We were very fortunate, though, because every so often, like I said, middle, upper class, we were able to travel and had visas,
Yeah, wonderful.
right?
Yeah.
So my mother made the decision. My brother left first, and that's because, the government at that time was just knocking on doors, and you're 15, going to the militia.
Right.
Right? And so my mother's like, absolutely not. So he was the first one to come out here to Miami, actually Florida. And then we followed within 6 months. And I said we, only my mom and three other girls, three of us. My father was not able to leave. They held him back purposely.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it was kind of interesting. Mother coming out here, Miami, right?
I hear it a lot, though, in the immigrant stories with families being separated. But what I don't hear a lot is the fact that they made that choice. They were in a position to be able to make that happen.
Yes.
I think that's a really nice version of the immigrant story that I haven't
Yes.
really had a chance to dive into.
Yeah, and there's so many different stories, right?
Yes.
And we were very lucky because we had a community in Miami where we felt very welcome. And, the language piece of it was huge. I mean,
Yes.
I remember walking in stores and reading, we speak English. Instead of we speak Spanish. Like, everybody spoke Spanish. So, like, the first year or two, I was like,
It was a
speaking Spanish
smooth
always.
transition.
Yeah.
It was. It
Yeah.
was. It was shocking, really. I mean, the U.S., and you mean to tell me everybody speaks Spanish in this area?
Yeah.
Right? It was kind of interesting. And then we migrated to California, and this is where the shocker came in, because everybody was speaking English.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to learn English, ESL, 2 years after
Interesting.
migrating in the U.S.
Wow. Well, I love too that the entrepreneurial spirit and that entrepreneurial experience, the fact that they had already taken control of their life in that way in Nicaragua, it really made a difference when it came time to having to exit. If they were working in traditional positions or working for someone else, that may not have been an easier option for them at the time. Yep. So that's amazing. Yes, so I can definitely see where you got all of that from. And Miss Cherelle, tell us a little bit about your journey, because yours has some zigzags, ups, downs, whips, turns.
I'm all over the place,
the fact that you're here, and then I really want to hear about the two of you connecting as well. So but I'd love to hear a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm from that era of the Cosbys. Yes. Right? Let's talk about that. Let's start there. So, growing up, my idol was Felicia Rashad.
Okay.
Right? Claire Huxtable. Mm-hmm. And so as a kid, I wanted to be her. She was so fashionable. She was beautiful. She was a lawyer. Mm-hmm. She was smart. Yep. She was a mom. She was like everything. Right? And actually, I did the LA Fashion Week, and one of the ladies, kind of being a little catty, and she's going to see this hi. And she said, "Your dresses are so Claire Huxtable."
Okay.
The biggest compliment.
You were so happy.
The biggest compliment I ever had in my entire life. I said I wanted to become a lawyer and a legal compliance person because of Claire Huxtable. Yes. I wanted to dress like her. I wanted to walk in a courtroom and people will see me and see other women that are like me and, Black women of color, whatever. And so that was the biggest compliment. So my journey is, I started in entertainment. I was a dancer, danced with Michael Jackson, toured, did all kind of fun stuff. Not to drop names or anything, but
just is what it is.
Just saying what I'm saying. Because my oldest son says, "Mom, you always tell that story about Michael Jackson. That was like 30 years ago." I go, "But
it's Michael Jackson.
I don't even know who this person is that is playing on the radio right now."
That part.
Exactly. So there we go.
Get it together.
Okay. So coming from entertainment, being able to be in that space and getting to travel and see things that, my parents never actually got to see. They're always working and all that great stuff. It builds I think it builds
your identity.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So because working in entertainment, I was always dressing the dancers.
Yes.
Because I'd be like, "Oh, is this what you wore?" And I'd always have the clothes or something to share with someone. So that's kind of sparked my interest about, fashion. I always did it, but that was like, I know I'm going to take it to the next level. Because I remember at 9 years old, I remember dreaming that I was going to be in New York Fashion Week.
Oh,
right? At 9.
Manifestation.
Yes. And I didn't, you don't know this. Like, you just think like, oh gosh, that would be so awesome if that would happen to me.
Yes.
And then to be able to do that, that was just the best thing ever. So, my journey is coming from entertainment, doing what I wanted, becoming a legal expert, working in HR and all of that great stuff, because you got to have, entertainment is fun, but you got to have the real world, because entertainment is not always,
Yeah, it's a kind of a hit or miss, right? Your chances are slim for some. Right?
Yes. And I remember this lady, Shelly Tarrant, I'll say her name. She said, "Honey, I know that you think you're going to have this body and you're going to be this gorgeous forever." But the reality is you're going to turn 40 and you're going to be premenopausal. And I was just like...
So she gave an inspirational speech, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, she was like painting the picture of what's to come. So she's like, "You need to get an HR degree." I was so, okay. So God went ahead and got that.
Yeah, so thank you for that.
Yes.
That's crazy. Well, it landed you here. And from what I can see from the outside looking in and just knowing you, it's working out pretty damn well.
It's been very prosperous.
Working out pretty damn well. You're getting to be all of yourself and show up in your fullness, both of you.
Yes.
I tease you both that you've got like 15 jobs.
We do.
Right?
Yes.
And so there's lots of side creativity, side hustles, lots of multi-dimensional things that these two women are creating, have created. Honestly, I don't even know when they sleep.
No,
so
very little.
We wonder
very
as well.
Little, yes.
So what I'm really, really curious about, and I think what I was most excited to talk about today, is to hear about your connection and how you're running your business together and growing this business, because we speak a lot about collaboration over competition, especially amongst women. But how often do we have like a shining example of what that looks like? Yes. So how long have you all been partnered in business? And tell me how this happened.
You want to
Well,
go?
I'll start.
Yes.
So we've been partners in business 4 years now, but we actually worked at a company before. So we met like in 2017, I believe it was, or
16, I
16,
think it was.
2016. We were working and we were like HR consultants for like
An
HR
organization.
consulting company, right? And so I've always been a person, as you know, that always had side hustles. Listen, I'm a Caribbean girl. It is what it is, okay?
Exactly.
So, it's like, and so when
I wasn't going to name it, but
we didn't want to put it out there, but we might as well put it out there. Yes, we tend to do a lot of
Yes.
things, right? So we actually, it was really during the COVID, like right before COVID, that we really worked together a lot doing presentations and all of that. And I said to her, so what do you do on the side, right?
Because everyone has 10 side hustles.
correct.
Right.
That's just the assumption.
And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't have a side job? I was like, when I leave here, I'm getting ready to go do this, and then I got to do that, and then at 9 o'clock, I got to do. She was like, what? And so she took a dot. She's like, well, you know what? Let me look and see what I want to do. But we would always talk about, we worked so hard for the organization.
True.
And everybody would come to us for everything. So she said, you know what? Why don't we do our own? And I was a little nervous because I knew I had all these other entities going on. And so I was like, am I going to be able to dedicate the time to that? Because I know from 4 to 7, I'm at this place doing that, and then this. And so I talked her into doing an outside consulting gig.
Okay.
And then you could say from there, that's not how it worked.
So, I love Cherelle, and then we clicked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're very similar in our work ethics and our values.
Yeah.
And, the quality that we provide too.
And we're 3 days apart in our birthday. We're both
we're
Aries,
both-
ruler of the head. So
Oh, man.
Yes.
Everything's on fire.
yes.
It literally, when we work together with this organization, it's like we knew our shit.
Yeah.
And people will come to us.
Absolutely.
Colleagues, corporate people, business owners.
Broker, everyone.
It's like
Wow.
we were very well trusted advisors. Like we knew our stuff. There's just about nothing out there that we don't know about.
That's the truth.
And that's very rare to find somebody in our career path that were very similar backgrounds, knowledge, and mainly the work ethics. We just clicked.
The work ethic.
And I think when we knew that, right away, it was like, we need to do this together. We need to start our own thing. Because, if I'm going to work 20 hours a freaking day, I might
That
as well do
part.
it for me.
Can we do it for
Right.
ourselves? Yes, exactly.
Right? I mean, there's a potential, to make more money, but not just that. Some flexibility, right?
Yes.
Well, and have more like control,
Correct.
Correct. And that was
be
the
able.
big thing.
I don't like the
Correct.
word control, but be able to steer the ship.
Right.
The way you want it.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Instead of having somebody else, right? Or do it for somebody else.
Exactly.
And so, that thought came to mind, and we were like, why not? Why wouldn't we be doing that? And then, so my side hustle that she's, kind of not convinced me, because I used to do it. My mother has always
She
done it,
inspired
right?
you.
She
Yes.
inspired me to get back to that.
Yes,
right?
to get back
So
in it.
that's where I started, and I thought, at that time I had a little age spot here.
Okay.
And when she said, you need to have a side hustle, and I'm thinking,
Why
why not? And so I started selling Jafra on the
Okay.
side.
Okay.
And I just loved it. I love the fact, hey, extra income, that's really good. Why not? It's just, she gave my spirit back, to be honest.
I love
And-
that.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
almost like a twin flame.
Yes.
Right? Where it's like you've ignited something or
Yes.
helped you remember or
It did.
mirrored something for you.
Definitely.
Love it.
I was, always married to my jobs, and I've had jobs. And, I always, work my ass off for that job. There's no 8 to 5. I don't experience 8 to 5. I haven't experienced that since
We
I
still
was
haven't
14 years
experienced
old.
that,
Right.
yeah. We don't know what that
Right?
is.
It's so,
Yeah.
I started working officially when I was 12.
Me too.
And I had never really experienced a normal balanced work week, right? And so when we connected, it's like, yeah, if I'm going to work 16, 12, average days every day,
I need to
then
benefit
why
from
not?
this
Exactly.
all the way around. Yes.
And that
that.
totally flourished, like the creative side of things. Like, why can't we do that? That should be, we can do it.
yeah.
Of course, and you're doing it.
She did it.
And
She
doing
started.
it well.
And
Doing it and doing it and doing it
having
well.
as her side consultant. She started the business.
Right.
And then I was working as her side consultant.
For me,
Even
yeah.
though I was already working 80
Yeah.
hours a week.
Yes.
But, and then she would text me. She's like, I know you're probably in the middle of a gig or you're speaking right now.
Yeah.
However, can you call me right after? I'm like, okay.
I love it.
So that's kind of.
Yeah, but the goal was always Cherelle's coming.
Yes.
Yes.
Period.
It sounds
From
like
day
it.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
And you had your mind made up, and we already learned about you that once you make your mind up, it's happening.
Oh, it's
you.
over.
We have that in common, actually.
Yes.
I'm the one who claims friends. Like
Yes.
I'll be like you,
Yes.
and then like no matter what you think, we're gonna be besties. Ask Cherelle,
Yes.
she's experienced this.
Yes.
But you have to have that mindset, and I do believe that it's cultivated through our backgrounds.
Yes.
It's cultivated through entrepreneurship. It's cultivated through a self-identity that
Yes.
we've evolved into for ourselves through the experiences of trying new shit,
Yes.
throwing
Yep.
paint at the wall, seeing
Yep.
if it's going to
Seeing
work,
if it
living
might
through
stick.
it, even
Right.
if we fail,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And it just develops this unstoppable identity, right?
Yes.
I love that. And so here's one of my other questions is that when it comes to delegation of tasks and roles, how do you all handle that? Did you just naturally fall into a rhythm, or was it like, I have these skill sets, this is where I excel, this is where you excel, and you do that? And is there ever any crossover?
You know, and that's such. I was thinking about that on the way
Yeah.
here. So my personality is I don't like people telling me what to do.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't take direction well. I never have.
I'm totally the opposite.
Yes, and she's a
Well,
little
that kind of
different.
works then.
So if
that
we
works.
flow exactly.
Yeah.
And we both know like where we shine, and I think we allow each other to have that space. Because if it's something that
Yes.
I'm good at, she'll step back. And then if it's her, I step back. So we just we haven't never even had an argument, have we?
We have never had
That's
an
amazing.
argument.
I am shocked by that because well, you know, you have people that you when you work in business and you're like da da da. But
Yes.
I think it's just because again being Aries and then knowing each other's strengths and appreciating, because I appreciate her, because to
Yeah.
want me to be her partner,
Right.
that's like the best feeling.
Yes.
Like, because
You've been chosen.
yes.
You're gonna make me cry.
Okay, well, okay.
That's
we'll stop.
okay. Tears welcome.
I have to 100% agree with that. We have never argued.
I love it.
But I think we're very honest with
Yes.
each other. Like,
Right.
and delegation it is something that is very difficult for both of us.
Yeah.
Because we're also very much perfectionists,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like we want to get
Yes.
shit correct.
Yes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise we don't sleep.
Right.
No.
And
right.
so
Right.
I think because going back to we have this very similar work ethics and values that we click so well. And yeah, we've never had arguments. We've had
Yeah.
discussions like Vilma, you're way overboard, or
Yeah.
you're doing this.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
You're doing
Doing the
too
most,
much.
girl. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
And she'll tell me the same thing. Like,
Yes.
maybe you would. And she does it a little bit more professional than me.
Right.
She'll say,
A little
maybe
gentler.
just rethink that, Cherelle. Or
Yes.
and I'm like, girl, get it together.
Yes.
But, so.
But we definitely complement each other
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot in
Yes.
regards to the way we talk to others as well.
Right.
I think we click. We do quite a lot of trainings together a lot of the time, some speaking engagements together as well. And I
Yeah.
think we really know each other so well that we can almost finish each other's sentences.
Yeah, it's
I
the
love
truth.
it.
Yeah.
So there's a foundation of trust
Yes.
that you all have built, because in order to work together in partnership, in order to delegate tasks, you've got to have a level of trust.
Absolutely.
And that's what I see
Oh,
here.
100%
And mutual
trust, yeah.
respect
Mutual
Yes.
respect.
and
That's
admiration.
it. Exactly. And admiration is that.
So
definitely
with
it.
Insight HR Consulting, you guys work closely with small to mid-sized businesses as a business and employee advocate by providing consultation, guidance, support, and solutions for organizations. Here's the question. You've worked inside many systems
Yes.
that were not always designed for you as a woman, and specifically women of color, right? What barriers did you have to break intentionally before you could become the leaders that you've become today?
I like to start on that one because I actually was thinking about this. I have to give a lot of credits to, I worked in a very male dominant environment, but I also had very huge advocates and mentors that were males in my career.
That poured into you.
That definitely
I love it.
Supported me and gave me opportunities based on my work ethics.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm talking about white men that believed in me and gave me, hey, what do
Love
you
it.
need?
Opened the
Right?
doors and
Very
gave you a
much.
seat.
But I also noticed within my own community, because I still see it with us women and, Latinas and minority women, sometimes we can be very petty.
Okay.
And I've noticed that through my career as well, right? And I think that's why we also click together, because we want to help women. Stop being petty.
Yes.
I don't
There's
need
room for everybody out to shine.
Exactly. You don't
Yeah.
need to stab anybody in the back. There's pretty much opportunities for everybody, right? I don't need to be better or look better. It doesn't matter. Let's just all be women supporting each other.
Exactly.
But I saw it so much in my career. It's like, why? My gosh, I'll help you. You just need to ask me. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm happy to help you. If I have a resource, it's yours.
Absolutely.
Not a problem.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think that's another reason why, we work so very well, because in our own way, we do support a lot of women initiatives.
Yeah.
And there might be different initiatives because of different circles and, areas that we network as well.
Absolutely.
So that's another thing that is I love, that we don't network exactly in the same place.
That's perfect.
No, right.
So you're broadening your reach.
Exactly.
Because you're getting into multiple rooms at one time,
Yes.
leveraging time. So that actually answers one of my other questions, which was around the time and like how everything, how do you do it all? But if you guys are, dividing and conquering, then that explains that beautifully. So with that said, Insight HR sits in the intersection of compliance, culture, and humanity, because you do have a lot of human-based initiatives.
Absolutely.
And in a world where workplace often feels transactional,
Yes.
especially the HR space,
Very
right?
much so.
You're helping build environments where people feel seen, safe, and supported so that they can thrive. Yet at the same time, so many high achieving women inside those systems and in those workplaces are quietly unraveling. So being in the HR space and consulting HR people within these companies, from where you sit, what does a truly healthy workplace look like? And what are the most dangerous patterns that leaders are still not talking about?
I think the healthy
Really thought about that
space-
one.
Yeah, that's really deep.
very deep.
Right. So the healthy space is someone that's still loving what they do, right?
Ooh, that's a great point.
Because that's a thing. Because whenever we do like exit interviews, all that, and quiet quitting, people that are just like they're overwhelmed and it's not what they
Checked
want
out.
anymore, right? And so I feel like with us, because we are a part of a community where people come to us, women are like, you guys always seem so happy when we see you guys. Why is that? Because we still love what we do.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to divert from how we do it, right? And maybe bring on folks to help us.
Smart.
Yeah, I also think it's too how we're looking at the environment. Like from a consultant perspective, we're not there for the business owner. We're not there for the employees only.
Okay.
We're there for the organization, right? The company.
Yes.
If the company is doing what they're supposed to be doing, not only meeting regulatory
Compliance and all that, yeah.
but doing the right thing, then that helps the employees and it
Yes.
helps the owners or the ownership or the C-suite, right? So, because there is a lot of times where we do get clients and the consultants that they might have had, it's like they're mandating that I do this well, right? That's never going to win anything over, right?
Right.
You have to be influential first and kind of give the
Yes,
reasons behind.
and lead.
Yeah,
by
this
example.
is like
Well, that
option
is
1, 2,
also
and
the
3.
difference between leading and, kind of
Dictators.
feeling,
Yes.
exactly, dictatorship.
Correct. So I think it's also our approach.
Yes.
When we go, most of the clients they come to us because there's always problems, right?
Oh, yeah.
There is a problem. That's the reason why they need our services. But if we have really truthfully honest conversations, business owners and employees are going to hear things that they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But it's how we deliver it. Right?
Yes.
It's how we
Yes.
deliver that.
With love. And it sounds like there's certain things that
Yes.
are built into the fiber of your core values as individuals, but also of your core values as a company.
Yes.
And so I look from the outside looking in, I look at what you all are doing and how you're moving through life and business as what I teach, which is embodied leadership.
Yes.
It's not performing. I'm not going to show up in the way that you think I should show up.
Exactly.
I'm going to show up authentically with a perspective based on these core values to make you better.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I love it.
Yes.
So good. So good. I mean, this is the juice. This is the magic behind why you guys are growing so quickly.
We're growing so quickly.
So quickly.
When we started, I think when I came on board, you had like 9 clients.
9 clients.
And now we're over 100.
Woo!
Yeah.
Jeez, that's amazing.
Over 110.
110.
Oh, well. Update 110.
Yes.
110.
But who's counting?
But who's counting? Yeah. So you've both built careers inside systems that reward overperforming and under feeling. I know for sure you're a feeler.
Yes.
I don't know you as well, but just the fact that you all are so closely associated tells me that you lead with heart.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
So when you look back, where have you or were you abandoning yourself in order to be seen as competent, compliant, or strong, the strong one?
We've overlooked ourselves quite a bit, and these are things that we're focused on 2026, making some changes.
It's on the goals list.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. And one of those things that I think we talked about is, so our clients rely on us so much that, matter of fact, I didn't answer a text the other day, and the lady not only called me, she called one of my consultants and says, "Is Cherelle okay?"
Okay.
And so the person was like, "Cherelle, are you okay? This client's asking." And I was like, "Yeah, I just talked to her at 9:00. And says, "Well, you didn't respond to my text," because we had built that model that no matter what, we will put everything down to, because we want every client to feel like they're the only client. Right. And so, but what I realized in doing that is, I'm setting myself up for failure.
Yes. It's not a sustainable,
It's not
scalable model.
Not at all.
It's a guaranteed way to keep yourself small.
It is.
Exactly. And, right.
And we actually always preach to executives, to leaders,
We tell them.
and
Those who can't do teach.
others. Right?
Exactly.
It's like you got to take care of yourself first, right?
Yes.
You got to have that balance.
Yes.
But I think it's also in the profession, because we also come across a lot of HR professionals that we take to look at everybody else's problems and help them through their problems, right?
Yes.
However, we put ourselves in the back burner.
Right.
And so, our health can wait, our exercise can wait.
Yeah.
Our stress can wait, because, a lot of people in the profession are very caring. They are. They're in the profession because they want people to be treated well.
Yeah.
And that means business owners as well as employees, right? And so a lot of the times I have come across HR professionals like we are the last ones to take care of ourselves.
And you take the grunt
I was
of
in a coma
everything.
in January.
Right.
And I was still in the hospital trying to take calls.
And trust me, we've been talking about we do need to step away. We've been trying to do that for the last year, and we've had some tough conversations. Like, no, we teach and preach this to others, and we need to do that ourselves.
Well, I'll tell this to you too, and I'm also going to tell this to the audience. It's sometimes, most of the time, i.e. all the time, it takes sometimes investing in someone to hold you accountable, guide you on the journey, be that person to assist you in creating space for yourself.
Yes.
And I'm glad that this is an awareness, because awareness is the first step.
Yes.
We've been talking about this forever. So I'm excited to see you actually make it happen in 2026, because I'll tell you, I get concerned sometimes.
Yeah, you reach out to me
all the time.
All the time. Cherelle, what's up? And I'll see that little text. And I'm like, I'm getting it together.
Yeah. So and you will. You are.
Yes.
I think the key is going to be having a strategy for transitioning the culture of your company from one that is small business, where it's very accessible, to continuing to make people feel loved, supported, seen, heard, but in a way that also frees you from becoming a prisoner of your business. So, yeah, I love that. I think it's actually a really great place to start rounding out our conversation as well, because that is obviously one of the pillars of Anatomy of Abundance is sacred self-care.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that we as high achieving women, we struggle with, because we are perfectionists, because we are overachievers. We want it done right. And sometimes there's this narrative of like, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Exactly.
At least not done well.
Exactly.
Don't get done well.
Say that.
Yes.
However, I will challenge and I will assert that the next level of embodied leadership or leadership in general is being able to transfer those skills, to be able to transfer that culture to someone else, and that's exciting.
It's exciting.
Yes, expansion, elevation.
That's
so.
right.
So as we start to round out our conversation, I'd love for you to just take a look into that camera, and talk to our audience. Give a final kind of word or piece of wisdom. It'll be up to you for someone who might be in the entrepreneurial space, or maybe a company that might be having some challenges with their company culture.
Fabulous. You want me to go first? Yeah. All right. Well, all I got to say for entrepreneurs, do not be afraid of not knowing everything.
Good.
You have resources, friends, family, colleagues that care for you enough that they will accept that you're not aware of that particular situation or information. They will welcome you to ask questions directly to them, and they want to be there for you. So I do come across a lot of that we are fearful of coming across. We don't know. You're in business and you don't know that. It's okay. A lot of us have gone through that. Yeah. Be aware that you're not alone, and we want to hear from you. You have friends, family, and colleagues that have gone through the same journey, very similar journey, and we do need to depend on each other.
I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
And my thing is, when you're starting out as an entrepreneur and you're bringing on clients, I think you need to set the expectation from the beginning of what your services are, what your availability is, right? And don't always think you always have to be on and all that, because I think people respect you when they know that you dedicate time to other things other than, it's just always about work or whatever, which I've kind of learned that now, because one of the clients actually said that to me, right? She's like, I'm more empowered when I hear you talk to me about, you're taking your kids to the beach or your nephews to the beach on the weekend or whatever. Not you're saying you're working on a handbook on Sunday. Right? Like, I don't want to hear that. I want to
on Sunday at 11 p.m.
Exactly.
But I don't know who I'm talking about.
We have had those discussions.
We have.
Yes.
We have.
Yes.
But I'm really happy that whether it came from a place of like, this is something I know because this is something I've always upheld, or it came from a place of like, these are the challenges that I've gone through and this is what I've learned.
Yes.
It's all great advice for our listeners, because someone's going to be able to relate to that and hopefully make some shifts.
Yes.
Okay?
That's right.
That's the point of this podcast, is to have these kind of raw, real conversations, bring things to the forefront, bring awarenesses that they might be caught in a cycle, and don't even realize they're caught in that cycle until they hear you say it.
That's right.
Exactly.
And just know that you have trusted
Support.
colleagues and support.
Exactly.
Because, and I'm going to do a little shout out here for my mom, because one of the projects I've been trying to work on for the last 2 years is to launch her Chile. Mima's Chile.
Yum.
And so that's definitely, and thanks to Cherelle, I love her to death, because why am I holding back for that?
Right. Yeah. And I'm excited because I get to taste the chili. I got a jar of chili. I know. It's going to be in a bowl like gazpacho, right?
Yes.
I don't doubt it. Trust me.
Yes.
You'll love
My husband literally puts it on every single thing. He's all, we don't got him. I heard him screaming the other day, we don't have Mimas. I said, there's some in the jar. Calm down.
Yeah. We have a client that actually her son drinks it out of the jar.
Yeah,
he
really
loves it so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't.
Well, we're going to have all of their information in show notes. And, if you want to drop a chili, that's great. We'll put that in there too. But if you were inspired by this incredible conversation, which I know you were, hopefully you took some notes, hopefully you had some awarenesses, go ahead and follow our podcast, subscribe, go ahead and look these ladies up. We're going to have all their information in show notes, connect with them for sure. And I want to invite you to join our sanctuary. Don't just be a witness, be a participant. Explore our Sovereign CEO Collective, and that link will also be in the show notes, because I think we learn more by being in the room and in the conversation with women like this than we do when we're isolated on our own trying to find answers. And that's the space we're creating in our sanctuary, our collective. So we want to thank you for joining us on another episode of Living Room Wisdom. I'm very open to your feedback, suggestions, and comments. So we'll look forward to connecting with you again next week, right here, same time, same place. Have a wonderful day. Bye.